Hello everyone, this is David Collins from Ann Arbor Guitars. Today we are going to show you some of the tools we use. This is going to be a demonstration of the tool we use to cut saddle slots in replacement bridges or to recut existing slots that have warped or have distortion along their length. The tool we use for this job is a bridge slotting mill I built about 10 years ago, based around a Porter Cable 310 laminate trimmer motor. Unfortunately, this tool is no longer in production, but if you can find one, they're a fantastic tool, very sturdy, lightweight, and certainly powerful enough to get the job done. The base of the unit vacuum clamps to the guitar top, and as you can see, we've added some internal padding to prevent any overly broad surfaces from being pulled in by a large vacuum area. Once the base is secured in position, the guide carriage can be adjusted along its x-axis to set the saddle position, and to assist in easy lineup, we've employed a laser guide precisely aligned to the center of the cutting path. Then to better clean warped and widened slots or to fine-tune width, we added an adjustable parallel to precisely align secondary passes. The linear bearings guide the trimmer smoothly and precisely along the y-axis, and a zero-lash lead screw will plunge the cutter along the z-axis. A simple depth stop on the back side allows easy and accurate setting of the depth with numbered drill bit shanks, essentially a poor man's pin gauge set, or feeler gauges for fine-tuning on shallow adjustments. First step in cutting a new slot is of course to measure precisely. Then, with compensation factored in, we can mark the final saddle positions on the bridge. Now we place the jig on the guitar and line it up approximately. Engage the vacuum and fine-tune the position. For vintage through saddle, we often have to adjust depth differentials between the bass and treble sides. We can easily fine-tune this by shimming the carriage on the vacuum base. First we gauge and measure the rise required, then install an appropriate thickness shim to secure the bass side at the new height. Now we can realign the cutting path and set the final depth. And now we're ready to cut. The smooth plunge allows for multiple passes to eliminate bit wander. Now we raise the cutter and inspect our work. Looks great, but let's go for another 15 thousandths just to show how easy it is. Drop the cutter to its original depth and lock the plunge in place. Then loosen the depth stop and raise it by a feeler gauge to set the new depth. Lock the new depth, unlock the plunge, and we're ready to go. And that's all there is to it, a clean, precise, vintage correct saddle slot for a replacement bridge. Perhaps the most frequent use seen by this tool, though, is to deepen or clean up existing slots which were left cut less than ideal. Here, the ease of use with reliable precision setup is paramount, as it removes the temptation to accept and work with an existing slot and all its compromises. With this tool, we can easily align the cutter, set the depth, adjust the end stops, and in just a few short minutes be ready to go. That takes care of one side of the slot. Now time to clean up the other side while minimizing any width increase, maintaining a constant depth, and keeping the walls perfectly parallel.
Come in for a close inspection before removing the jig. Turn off the vacuum and inspect our work. Now we have a perfectly clean and consistent slot, making saddle fitting much easier and with more reliable results. And of course, this tool is very useful in cleanly removing modern through saddles which are fairly tenaciously glued in without any risk of enlarging or altering the original slot.
So obviously this is not a how-to-do-it-yourself video, as there are a number of rather complicated bits of tooling and machinery that we use for this process. We do get frequent requests from people wanting to know more detail on how we carry out particular jobs like this, and this gave us an opportunity to give you a brief overview of the way we approach it. It also gives a brief overview of the way we approach a number of things in our trade, and that is to do all we can to raise the bar on quality and precision and reliability of the work that we do, not only in our own shop but in the trade overall. And at the same time, whenever possible, we try to make tools and procedures like this as efficient as possible, so that while raising the quality and precision, we can also cut the time and expense of the work to give a better end result to the guitar owner for a lower cost and quicker turnaround. We have a whole lot of other little tools, tricks, tips, procedures, things like this that we are going to share as time allows. We'll be coming out with a lot more videos. If you'd like to keep up to date on this, please be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can also find us online at AnnArborGuitars.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.